I said, no, my doubt and demons on their way. Every endeavor I have made ever is coming into play, is here and now today.
Yes, my friends, welcome here to this episode. Wow. Episode 500 in 3 years. Let that sink in. A person with a stutter faced his fear and used this show as the vehicle. And all of you are part of that journey. Thank you. I appreciate all of you. And you know who else is amazing? My next guest, because it is the incredible, the one, the only Bob Proctor, author of 2 bestsellers. His father knew the secret and the 12 easy steps to change your life. In the very early years of the internet, Brian conceived the idea of building an email list to create value and platform for his father to share his teachings. This idea set Bob Proctor's company up for success by opening the door early to email list building, long before that was the industry standard. Brian and his wife, Cory, because behind every successful man, there is an even smarter wife. I truly believe that, because my wife is definitely smarter than me. Brian and his wife, Cory, ran a successful coaching program called Proctor's Principles, something I really think that you should look into. They ran a successful coaching program called Proctor's Principles, where they share the lessons that Bob Proctor imparted on his son. So without any further delay, please welcome the amazing, the indomitable, the talented, and super handsome, the guy who walked uphill to school both ways in the snow, barefoot, the one, the only Bob Proctor. Hello, Brian. How are you doing? Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Raja. It is really good to be here with you. That's quite an intro there.
That's what my guests say. I always say this show is just fast, furious fun. And if you want to have fun, click the link below so that you can leave comments on the live. We're coming to you live today, episode 500, with the great Bob Proctor. I think we're on LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube, and I think Facebook Live is following. So please join us everywhere. And so let's just dive right in. I mean, Brian, what an incredible story. Your father, the late, great Bob Proctor, was in The Secret. I remember reading that book and watching the movie years ago. And just what an amazing idea about the law of attraction. I mean, what got you started in personal development?
Well, I think I was just brought up in it, Raja. My father was given the book Think and Grow Rich.
Yes.
In October. Yeah, October of 1961. Well, I was born in December of 1961. So wow. I was kind of there for the ride. My father was really one of the founders of the personal development industry. And when he started studying this, he was changing his mindset. And I often joke that I think I was like an experiment, because while he was changing his mindset, he was programming me with material right from birth. So I have been around this since I was a little baby.
Oh, I can imagine. So now, growing up, having understood these principles and learning from them, did that affect the way that you grew up in school or with your friendships? Like, how did they sort of augment the way that you viewed your own reality?
I think it probably influenced everything growing up. Not to say that I've had a perfect life. I've had issues. I've had things that I've had to overcome. I think we all do. But I had the mindset to get through any troubled times, which was great. It was kind of programmed in. But I didn't realize that I was living a different life until I was probably a late teen, maybe even early 20s. Up until that point, Bob Proctor was just my father. He was nobody different,
Yeah, I get it. And you know what? I do this all the time with my son. We're always talking about how his friends are in awe of me, and he sees me as just dad, but I've done a bunch of different things. I'm not here to gush about me today. That idea of your parents is just a person that just takes care of you, helps grow you, helps guide you. It's truly a great thing. It says in Galatians that, what a man sows, a man will reap. Well, what seeds are we planting here today? We're planting great seeds that help you grow, create your mindset, create that mind shift. As I always say, I'm getting away from mindset because I think white belt mindset is stuck in cement, but you were creating a black belt mind shift towards success, right? So can you go through one of your 12 easy steps that change your life? I see your next book coming out. I mean, it's fantastic. So tell us a little bit about that and how is that going to help people to find the next version of them?
Well, I think, as you say, it's all about mindset. And in 12 Easy Steps to Change Your Life, the first chapter in the book is all around gratitude. And gratitude is a bit of a buzzword, I think, right now, but it's vitally important. If we start our day journaling about what we are grateful for, even when we're struggling, we can find something that we're grateful for. If we do that, we start to look for the good that's around us. And as we do that, we open ourselves up to a better life. It's really the foundation to change. It's easy to look at what's not working. It's easy to turn on social media or the news and get bombarded with negative nonsense. Start our day focused on what we're grateful for, what is good in our life, and let that start to grow. That's the foundation to shift. That's the foundation to changing our mindset. It really is.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much, Brian. And, I got to give you a ring of the victory bell for that, because a lot of us start the day out getting hooked onto social media or hooked on the news or hooked on something. The alarm clock goes off and we get triggered rather than appreciating the day. You talk to someone. So, for example, last year we lost my mother due to her illnesses and cancer and everything else. And we finally lost her. And last year was a rough year. We lost 6 people in my family in 7 months. And it was rough. So ask the person who told you to wake up every day with that, are you gratitude? Do you have that gratitude that you took today? Yes, you should. Appreciate it, because truly every day is a gift. And, not enough of us appreciate that. But I want to share something with all of you first before we even move on. Brian has a link for you if you want to go out and find where his books are, where his connections are, where his trainings are. Please go down right there. It's brianproctor.com. And truly, I have multiple coaches, so I have no scarcity mindset over this. Please connect with him. He's a great guy, and I'm going to be connecting with his circles as well. So you'll probably see me there too. But brianproctor.com, make sure you connect with him. Make sure you find out how he can help you as well. All right. So, Brian, let's just move on. And this is a segment of the show I call the, speed round, or the, speed dating round. I really, where we get to learn the softer side of Sears. I always tell people that people connect with a person, not a business, right? So we just want to get to know you better as a person. Just, where did you grow up and how did you grow up?
Well, boy, that's a loaded question right there, Roger. I was born in Toronto, Ontario, Canada.
Ooh, great.
And that is where So I grew up primarily there. We moved around a fair bit. I lived in London, England for a little while. We lived in Chicago for a little while. We always moved back to Toronto. And but I now live in Olympia, Washington State, over on the West Coast.
Nice.
And that's this is where, when you find that place, this is it. This is the place I found. And on the ocean, we just love it here. So I kind of grew up all over the place. But
yeah,
now you talk about speedrun. Can I share a quick story? Because I think it's—
Please do. Yeah, go ahead.
So anybody that's watching this, if you have young children yourself, or if you have grandchildren, or somebody with young children, this is a great message that I can share. When I was a child, one of my earliest memories of being with my father was when he would tuck me into bed at night. And every evening, if he was home, he was the one that would tuck me in the bed. And he would sit on the side of the bed and he'd put his hand on my chest. And he said to me afterwards, he said that was to have a physical connection, that our energy, you can feel it.
Yeah.
And, I get back to gratitude. And this is what my father did. He would go through my day and we talk about all the great things I did that day. And it was really important. He said, if I had something I struggled with or something didn't go well that day, he would have me look for the good in it. And it gets back to gratitude. What's good about that situation? Even in the bad things, we can learn something good from it. And that was a great way to start looking at life. He said, we need to look at life through rose-colored glasses. Look for the good all the time. He says, when you do that, the bad times won't last as long and they won't cut as deep. And that was really vital. But here was the thing that he finished it off with. He would say to me, he said, Brian, you are capable of being, doing, or having anything you want in this life. You're going to have a great sleep. You'll wake up in the morning with a smile on your face and you're going to have a wonderful day. And if you have a young child, what a great way to start building their self-image. Get them to look at the good that's around them. That was when you talk about where I grew up and how I grew up, that's a story that comes back to me all the time.
Yes, sir. Oh, I love that. And what's beautiful about that is that when we talk about our connection to our children, I tell my children all the time, you can be more than me. You can be more than mom. You can do whatever you want in life. And it is your gifts that you think are so easy. Those are the gifts that you need to provide to the world. And what an amazing way to share that with the world. So let's continue on. I want to know more about you as like just kind of like your personal side of things. Like, what is your favorite kind of music? What do you love to jam to?
My wife laughs at this. She calls it old man music. You know what? I love to listen to the music from the 70s and maybe the 80s. I love just good music from the 70s and 80s, and I will listen to that all day long. Gotcha.
Now, you know what's funny? I was an immigrant. I came to America and I was born in Bombay. Came to America when I was a child. Started at my school over here in second grade. And I just remember feeling different, kind of out of place. But when we were in Northeast Philadelphia, all the different cultures, all the different backgrounds of people, skin color, religion, or culture, we all played together. And then when we moved to the suburbs, all of a sudden I was this one Indian kid in a sea of white children. And I had to prove myself again. I was like, wait, why am I different? But once I got into the soccer field and was able to play soccer as a 7-year-old, all of a sudden they didn't care anything about me. They're like, oh yeah, this kid can run. He can kick a ball. Beautiful. Come on in, join the team. And all of us have that moment where we have to say, you got to stand up for yourself and become the next version of you. Was there a moment in your life where you had to kind of draw your line in the sand and say, this is me, accept me exactly as I am?
Yeah, I think, there's been a few times of that for sure. Yeah. But, when I was in my mid-20s, I think the time for me was when I got into real estate. I was selling real estate in the city of Toronto. I was 26 years old. And I had to step out and do my own thing, make my own mark. And I took the principles that I learned growing up and I applied them to the real estate business. And, my first month in the business, I sold more homes than most agents did in a year. I did very, very well right from the start. And that was a defining moment for me. That was a moment that I realized that Brian Proctor can stand on his own. He can do his own thing, make his own mark in the world. And it felt really, really good.
I love that. I got to say that I'm always jealous of people that can buy and sell real estate, because I just have a home and that's it. And someday I wanted to get into real estate. Like, all right, I'm going to ask you questions maybe later. But tell me, what was there growing up then? Was there a particular movie or a book? I mean, like, not your dad's, but something else, like something that helped kind of shape the way you think?
Well, boy, that's a question I've never been asked before. You know what, Raja? I would say
that's what we do here on the Unbox Me Today show. We are going to unbox your mind and unbox your perceptions.
Well, there you go. I think the first book that made its mark on me was a book by Richard Bach. And the name of the book is Jonathan Livingston Seagull. I read that when I was probably an early teen, and it altered the way I looked at life. It was really a powerful book. So Jonathan Livingston Seagull by Richard Bach.
Got it. There. I just typed it up there. I probably spelled it wrong, but I'm sure we can find it through Google or through.
Richard Bach is B-A-C-H, I believe.
Oh, B-A-C-H. Okay, got it. I will definitely update that in post. Thank you. What about, what's a fun fact about you that maybe people don't know? Some sort of hobby you like to do, or something else you like to do?
Well, I certainly love to fish. I think a fun fact is
Yeah.
I rode Harley Davidsons for about 30 years.
No way.
Yeah,
That's
I rode
pretty
all
cool.
over Canada, all over the US, just about everywhere. That's something not a lot of people know.
Oh, that's excellent. Excellent. It's funny. I never rode a motorcycle.
Mhm.
I've ridden a Vespa when I was in India.
Yeah.
A little scooter. So it wasn't like a big deal. Went up, 20, 30 kilometers per hour. They don't really go anywhere. But I always wanted to get one of those, get like a big sport bike with like a Hayabusa exhaust and just ride 200 miles an hour with the wind in your hair. Of course, you got to wear a helmet. But it just sounds like so much fun. I mean,
Yeah,
I definitely someday I'll have to get one. And
it was a fun time of my life for sure. Yeah,
for sure. All right. So tell me a little bit more about, is there a favorite quote of yours that you kind of live your life by or has inspired you in the past?
Here's my favorite quote. I've got it right here on the back of my gold card.
Great.
And it's actually a quote from my father. And this is really getting in alignment with what you want in the world. I love this quote. And it says this: understand that the good you desire is already here. What you have to do is get in harmony with it. And you do that through your thinking. By Bob Proctor. I love that quote. It means the world to me. I think there's so many people, Raja, that let their current circumstance, let their situations in the world dictate how they show up, how they be. And that's such a mistake, because if you let your current circumstances, you let your current results dictate the way you think, you're just going to get more of the same. We have to start thinking differently. We have to start thinking from a different place. What would you like in your life? And start living from that place. That's how we alter our results. And that's where that quote really is in harmony with that way of thinking.
Oh, beautiful. There it is. And my friends, go out there and just think about this. Like, when have you let life dictate to you who you should be? Instead of saying, you know what, I know who I am. I know, even if the world is telling me I'm wrong, I know I'm not broken. I know I'm not wrong. I'm going to stand my line. I'm going to stand here and be me, kind of like grow roots like a tree and say, this is who I am. And be in alignment with what is right.
Well, and I think the important part, Raja, is you have to make a decision. How do you want to show up in the world? And make that decision and start doing something towards being that person. I've heard a lot of interviews with James Clear. He wrote the book Atomic Habits.
I have that book right here. I love it. Actually, he's one of those people I reached out to come be a guest on our show someday.
He's a neat guy, really neat guy.
Oh, very cool. I love that book on Atomic Habits.
Yeah. And James talks about, kind of the 2-minute thing. If you just be that person you really want to be for just 2 minutes a day, you just you are that person for just 2 minutes, and be that, visualize what that person would do those things, and then let that compound, let that start building day after day after day. You'll start to become the person that you dream of becoming.
Oh, certainly. And that gives me an idea for our 60-second mind shift for today, because I can see that book right there on my shelf. Plus I have the workbook that goes with it. So it's one of my favorite books when I talk about habit stacking with time, location, and intention. And we start creating, a lot of why is it every January people make all these New Year's resolutions, then 3 weeks later, 90% of them have failed? Well, that's because they haven't changed their habit system. They haven't really changed. They've made an intention, but their intentions and their actions are not in alignment. If they're not, it's creating friction. You got to align those things so that way we can make a direct bridge to the new version of you.
That's right.
So we're getting a little bit tight on time here. I want to be mindful of your time, Brian. Tell us a little bit. What's a story about growing up where one of your father's principles that he taught you really affected a change in your life?
Sure. Probably the biggest one is, I remember when I got into real estate, I was at a seminar down in Palm Springs, California, with and the fellow that was leading it, his name is Mike Ferry. I think he's still in business. He was a big real estate trainer. There was about 2,000 people in the room, and I was sitting right at the front of the room. Well, Mike invited me up on stage, and he basically shared with the audience, I was new in the business, and I was selling more homes than most people sold in a year. In a month. And he asked me that. He said, what is making the difference? And it took me back to when I was 9 years old. You know, I mentioned I was born in Toronto. We moved to England. We moved to Chicago. We were all over the place. So at 9 years old, I was going into grade 4 and I was going into my 4th new school. So I was that perpetual new kid in school. And my father said to me this, he says, Brian, put these 4 letters across the forehead of everybody that's in front of you, MMFI. It stands for make me feel important. He said, if you can make everybody in front of you feel important, feel seen, feel heard, he said, you're going to make friends in a hurry. You're going to get on in the world. Well, when I was standing on that stage in California in my 20s, and Mike asked me to share with the audience, what was my secret? That was it. I said, I made my clients feel like they were my only clients. I made them feel seen. I made them feel heard. I was truly interested in them. I wasn't worried about what I was going to say, what I was going to do. You know, when we take a sincere interest on the person in front of us and be there in the moment with that person, they feel it. They feel it. And that was probably one of the biggest lessons I've learned. And I try to do that for all of my interactions with anybody.
You're going to ring the victory bell for that. What an incredible thought process. You know, it goes back to like when I started out as a speaker and joined Toastmasters, learning about what really communication is. I thought I couldn't speak because of my speech problem, but I realized more and more it was not about me. It was about what does the audience want.
Right.
So in other words, when you're talking to a new person that make me feel important, you hear about this all the time with speaking and coaching. What's in it for me, right? And so what you just said is the same idea. Individually talking to a person, make me feel important.
Right.
You know, what are you saying to make that person feel heard? You know what? It's amusing. God gave us 1 mouth and 2 ears, and yet a lot of us speak like we got 2 mouths and only 1 ear, right? So, and so if we could reverse that and get back to normal biology, listen twice as much as you speak. And I know for all of you sanguines out there that love to just speak and think, you got to fill in the void with every single second with speaking. You don't. Life will carry on. And I know because I tried to fill that gap myself, and I realized, I'm just overcompensating because on the times I could speak, I was just gushing too much. So I had to kind of dial it back. And, so Brian, what an amazing concept. I just want to thank you for that. For those that are watching on the live right now, let me remind you, this is just freaking, breaking news. I mean, honestly, like, I pressed the wrong thing, didn't I? There it is. Ta-da. Is that, Bob Proctor is just sharing you pearls of wisdom. So if you're getting some value and some content here, please give us some thumbs up, give us some hearts, leave a comment in the chat. What is the biggest takeaway that you've gotten so far? And also to help us grow, make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel. Why? Because we want to create impact all around the world. And we want to help people and bring the experts like Brian to you every single day. So thank you so much for that, Brian. Brian, this leads me to my last question. I always find this amusing. What is your favorite kind of food? Because we always break the bread over. Food. Yeah.
Whew. Boy, that would depend on my mood. That would depend on my you know what? I love Thai food. That's the first thing that came to my mind is Thai food. I enjoy some spicy, good Thai food.
Oh, I love that. Okay. So I know exactly who to call to. Like I know the chef of like a local like a restaurant. Hello, Golden Dragon. Yes, I know. Yes, let's bring all the spicy Thai food palette of it in the green room right now for my VIP client Brian Proctor. Make sure you get the extra spicy peanut oil too. Thank you so much. As you say, totally real phone call. Brian, we're going to send you to the green room with some food and what is it that you want people to recall about you?
That I was kind.
Oh, love that. Yes, I love that. Thank you so much, Brian. We're going to bring you right back after our 60-second mind shift. So please enjoy that food. Save me some because, man, like they make some good food over there. All right. So while Brian is over there enjoying all that amazing food, please, let's think about if you want to start making a splash in a change in your life, there's something else you can do. You can create some major waves, but something has to happen.
When you throw a rock into a lake, what happens? No, there's a splash. You make an impact, and then you get waves. And then you don't know where those waves are going. Those waves are going past around the reeds, and you don't know where that impact is. So all of you out there, when you're on stage, you don't know where your impact is going to end. It's never going to end.
All right, folks. So today, Brian was just talking about making changes in your life, finding something that really connects with you. Now, he brought up James Clear, who wrote the book, The Atomic Habits. I got to say, that's one of my favorite books out there that really changed the way that I view habit change. Now, you can't see from here. I'm not going to stand up and change my coat and everything, but a couple of years ago, after my car accident in 2018, I gained 75 pounds. It took me 6 years of failing and dieting and trying everything. I couldn't lose the weight until finally, I realized through this show, I finally found my voice. I realized that you have to get happy first in order for success to follow you. In other words, the secret is, the law of attraction is, you start to become the person that the success and the people are attracted to. It's not the other way around. You don't chase other people. You don't become a millionaire by chasing millionaires and billionaires. That doesn't work. What you do is you start changing the habits that you do every single day with small steps. Go back to Kaizen technique of 1% a day, incremental. It's over 365% improvement in a year. That's fast. Almost no company can sustain that. But you as a human being, you can do that. You can change your life in simple steps. And I'm going to go back to James Clear's book, Atomic Habits. By the way, great read. Make sure you grab that. I don't get anything for it. I just want you to share it and improve your life. As always, paid forward. But think about, when you wake up in the morning, are you waking up with gratitude? Do you have a journal? That's what I tell my children. That's what I do. Do you take 5 minutes to meditate, clear your mind, and wake up on your terms? Or do you let social media wake you up, boost your dopamine levels, and then get you into a crash? Let's not let that happen. Start the day in your terms and start with gratitude. Start with a habit system that connects with time, place, and location and attention. And when you do that, you'll find that you are now in control of your life. Another great book out there I'm going to point out, Extreme Ownership by the two Navy SEALs, Jocko Willink and Lee Fabian. Fantastic, because I used to think life happened to me. Now I understand life happens for me, and I decided what to do with it. And that's another principle you can share from that book. So we're tight on time here. Let's get Brian back in the room. So Brian, welcome back. How was all the food?
The food was great, Raja. Thank you very much for that.
You're very welcome. So what was your biggest takeaway from that 60-second mind shift, and what would you add to it?
Well, I think a part of it is enjoying life, is having some fun in life. One of the chapters in my book, 12 Easy Steps to Change Your Life, is do something that brings you joy. Do something that brings you joy every day. You want to change your life. Don't wait to do something fun until you've got everything sorted out. You could be waiting forever. Do something every day that brings you joy and start to live life from a great place.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, Brian. You've been an amazing guest. And for everybody else that's been watching on the live, we are now going to jump onto our VIP Zoom. If you have the link down below in the chat, please grab it. If you can't be there, grab it anyway and make your donation. You'll get the replay. And everything is going to the NSA, the National Stuttering Association. I thank all of you for joining us on this journey. 3 years, 500 interviews, and I finally faced down my fear of speaking live. So thank you so much, all of you. It's been a blessing and a journey to really finally find the next version of me. So thank you so much. I'm Coach Roger. As always, don't fake it till you make it. Believe it and become it. And we'll see everybody on the next show. Okay, thank you so much, Brian. So, Brian, just two quick questions and we're out of here. There's thousands of podcasts and shows out there. Like, why did you choose mine to be on today?
Well, Raja, first off, I got to say I'm honored to be here as your 500th episode. That is a big honor. I chose to be here because you have spectacular energy. And that's the truth. I've seen you in some other meetings. You're always smiling. You've always got a good thing to say. And I'm attracted to people like that. I think we need more of that in the world.
Thank you so much. Yeah. And I really appreciate that. Thank you. And for everybody else out there that's learning and growing, I mean, please keep doing the same thing. We need more positive people in the world for sure. And just second question, just what was your biggest takeaway from the show today?
My biggest takeaway is just, I think around the gratitude and forming good habits. I think if we are grateful for what is in our life, we will attract more of that into our life. And I think that's something powerful. It's, as I say, it's a buzzword, but I think it's a vital one that we really need to look at every day.
Certainly. All right. And thank you so much, Brian. All right, folks, we are off the live and we are jumping onto the Zoom. Make sure you are in the room. You get to ask Brian questions on the live. All right. See you shortly, folks. Bye-bye.